The disaster comeback and 36 seconds of history. Breaking. Joel Osteen just had the most disastrous comeback of his career. And the person who brought everything down? Coco Gauff. In exactly 36 seconds. The whole world expected a grand sermon. Instead, they witnessed a 21-year-old tennis player dismantle the plan of a famous televangelist without raising her voice, without anger. Just the pure, terrifying precision of truth. This is not typical drama. This is a generation-defining moment. Imagine watching TV. Joel Osteen, one of America's most influential pastors, is speaking to millions after a month of silence due to scandal. The lights are glittering. The auditorium is packed. He talks about humility, about youth accountability, about how some young athletes speak too quickly and forget to think. And then, Coco Gauff is asked for her opinion. 36 seconds later, the internet explodes. The hashtag Coco36 trends globally. Joel Osteen's resurrection was not the one he wanted. And the biggest question everyone is asking: what happened in those 36 seconds? Have you ever seen a young athlete confront a powerful figure with absolute calm and intelligence? Do you believe that one brief answer can change the entire conversation about generational power? Here at Pro Tennis 360, we don't just cover tennis. We analyze the moments that change the culture. And this is one of them. If you don't want to miss deep dives like this, hit subscribe right now. Because what's coming next? You won't believe it. Now, let's go back to the beginning. What led up to this epic collapse? Years from now, when people look back at this exchange, they will realize it wasn't about drama. This was about a young woman using her platform to Sparkles speak the truth. Sparkles defend her generation. Sparkles demand accountability. Sparkles prove what real leadership looks like. In just 36 seconds, Coco Gauff reminded the world that greatness is not just measured in titles. It's measured in courage. And Coco Gauff? She has both. Now the question is for you. Have you ever seen a young athlete stand up against established power with such absolute calm and intelligence? Do you believe that 36 seconds can change the entire cultural conversation? This is not tennis. This is leadership. And if you want to keep following deep analysis of culture-defining moments like this, stories not just about tennis, but about people, about power, about generational change, then this is the place for you. At Pro Tennis 360, we don't just cover sports. We analyze the moments that change the world. Hit subscribe now. Because what we're preparing next, you won't want to miss it. And leave a comment below. What do you think of Coco's 36-second response? Should Osteen have spoken out like that? Is the younger generation leading better than the older generation? We want to hear your opinion. Thank you for watching. And remember, greatness is not just measured in titles. It's measured in courage. Coco Gauff proved that in 36 seconds. The context. The comeback no one thought could go wrong. Joel Osteen. If you don't know the name, Google it now. This is one of the most influential televangelists in the world, best-selling books, a 50,000-seat megachurch, millions of followers every week. But last month, he disappeared. A scandal erupted. Public outcry was fierce. Osteen retreated entirely from public view. No clear explanation, no official press conference. Just silence. And then the announcement came. Joel Osteen, a new beginning, a special comeback broadcast. His team promoted the event like a miracle. A new chapter, a fresh perspective, a chance to start over. The venue was grandly staged. Concert-like lighting. Millions globally tuned in. Some were curious. Some were hopeful. Others, they came to watch how he could salvage his image. Osteen stepped onto the stage. His voice was warm, confident, and emotional. He spoke about recovering from crisis, about confronting mistakes, about being stronger after failure. Sounds great, right? Until he started talking about young people. Today, some young people. He paused, looking out at the audience. They let fame make them think they know everything. They speak too quickly. They forget to keep humility. The sentence hung there. The auditorium murmured. But the internet? The internet exploded instantly. Twitter. Who is he talking about? TikTok. It has to be Coco Gauff. Instagram. Osteen just poked the bear. Why did everyone immediately think of Coco? Because a few weeks prior, in an interview, Coco had spoken fiercely about the social responsibility of athletes. She talked about racial justice, about using one's platform for positive change. And clearly, someone didn't like that. Osteen didn't name Coco, but he didn't need to. The context was too clear. The message was too direct. And the world understood. But there was one thing Osteen didn't account for. Coco Gauff is not the person to be silent when she needs to speak. The comment that ignited everything. Let's pause for a second, because this is the exact moment everything started to go wrong for Joel Osteen. During that live sermon, Osteen continued, "Some young people today, they forget that humility is the foundation of respect. They speak out before they truly understand the consequences. And that is dangerous." At that moment, the camera panned to the audience. Some people nodded in agreement. Others looked confused. But online, everything was wildfire. Why? Because just weeks before, Coco Gauff, the 21-year-old tennis star at the height of her career, gave a controversial interview. She talked about athletes needing to use their voice for change. She spoke about social issues. She said, "Silence is complicity." And now, it looked exactly like Osteen was firing back. The internet immediately connected the dots. Reddit. Is Joel Osteen criticizing Coco Gauff? Twitter. He's talking about her without daring to name her. TikTok. Hundreds of videos appeared with the title, "Osteen just messed with the wrong person." A sports commentator tweeted, "Joel Osteen just challenged Coco Gauff. He has no idea what he just did." Another wrote, "You can criticize many things, but never tell Coco Gauff she speaks too quickly. She knows exactly what she's doing." And one fan tweeted bluntly, "Osteen is playing with fire. And Coco? She is the fire." But here's the interesting thing. Coco didn't react immediately. No angry tweet. No shady Instagram story. No defensive livestream. Just silence. And that silence? It made the story even bigger. Because everyone knew, when Coco Gauff is silent, it doesn't mean she won't speak. It means she is choosing the right moment. And that moment arrived sooner than anyone thought. The internet explodes, and Osteen is clueless. While Joel Osteen continued his comeback sermon, the internet had turned into a battlefield. The hashtag Respect Young Voices trended within 15 minutes. Hashtag Coco Gauff trended within 30 minutes. Coco's fans weren't just defending her, they were aggressively attacking back. Here are some real reactions. At Sports Analyst 247, Joel Osteen criticizing young people who speak quickly when he himself was silent for a month after his scandal. Peak irony. At Tennis World Daily, Coco Gauff spoke about justice, equality, and accountability. Osteen calls that lack of humility. Who is really in the wrong here? At Gen Z Speaks Up, the younger generation doesn't need anyone to teach humility. We need adults to listen. The most viral tweet? Joel Osteen. Young people speak too soon. Coco Gauff, retire him. 20 million views in 2 hours. But there was one strange thing. Coco still hadn't said anything. Not a single tweet. Not one reply. No story mentioning Osteen. And that silence? It made the story grow even larger. Why? Because people started guessing. Will she respond? Or will she ignore it? What could she possibly say in response while still keeping her class? One commentator wrote, "Coco's silence is stronger than any comeback. That is the real power." And they were right for a few hours. But what they didn't know, Coco wasn't planning on staying silent forever. She was just waiting for the right time. And that time came later that evening. 36 seconds that changed everything, the legendary speech. That evening, Coco Gauff was attending a youth charity event in Los Angeles. It was an open Q&A with the press. No one expected this routine evening to produce the most viral moment of the year. The room was full of reporters. Cameras were rolling. Everything was normal until one journalist asked that question. Coco, Joel Osteen, just spoke about young athletes speaking too quickly. Do you have any response? The room froze. Even Coco blinked in surprise. She could have deflected, could have offered a polite smile, and moved on to the next question. But she didn't. Coco took a deep breath, calm, composed, unwavering, and then she began. If speaking up for what is right is considered losing humility, then I hope every young person loses a little more humility every day. A soft gasp went through the room, but Coco wasn't done yet. Respect is built on action, not on avoiding accountability. And if adults want to lecture the next generation, they should make sure they are setting examples that we actually want to follow. The room was buzzing, but Coco delivered the final line with a calmness and sharp wit that was chilling. Young people aren't the problem. We're just the ones brave enough to say what some adults are afraid to. She sat down. The room was silent. And then, thunderous applause. 36 seconds. 3 sentences. A global shockwave. Reporters stood up and clapped. Organizers nodded in agreement. And on social media, all hell had broken loose. In 10 minutes, the clip was on every platform. In 30 minutes, celebrities, athletes, and journalists started commenting. In 1 hour, the hashtags #Coco36, #Respect is earned, and #CocoTakedown trended globally. TikTok edits appeared within minutes. Sports commentators praised her courage. Even people who didn't follow tennis suddenly became Coco Gauff fans. One reporter wrote, "Coco didn't diss back. She delivered a masterclass in leadership." Another tweeted, "She speaks like someone who knows exactly her platform, her power, and her purpose." And a viral meme showed Coco holding her racket with a caption, "Coco Gauff never misses, on the court or off it." Joel Osteen? He had just been knocked out by a 21-year-old tennis player. In 36 seconds, the internet reacts, a global wave of support. What happened after those 36 seconds was not normal viral spread. This was a cultural phenomenon. Let me break down each platform. Twitter/X. In the first 2 hours, 5 million tweets mentioning Coco Gauff. #Coco36 trended #1 globally. Serena Williams tweeted, "That's my girl." Crown. LeBron James, real recognize real. Barack Obama, not directly, but liked a tweet about Coco signaling support. TikTok. 50+ edit videos in the first hour. Most popular video, Coco's 36-second speech with a slow-motion zoom on Osteen's face. 20 million views in 12 hours. Trending audio. Young people aren't the problem. Used in 100K plus videos. Instagram. Stories from athletes supporting Coco. 200+. Naomi Osaka. This is what leadership looks like. Billie Jean King. The future is in good hands. Reddit. r/tennis. 15K upvotes on the Coco post. r/public freakout, but positive freakout 40K upvotes. Top comment, 25K upvotes. She didn't clap back. She gave a masterclass. But the strongest reaction? From teenagers and Gen Z. A high school student tweeted, "Coco just spoke for our entire generation. I'm going to remember that quote forever." A teacher shared, "I just showed this clip in my leadership class." The students gave a standing ovation. A sports journalist summarized perfectly. Joel Osteen spoke for 1 hour. Coco Gauff spoke for 36 seconds. Guess who the world listened to? And Joel Osteen? His team was in total panic mode. Osteen responds, and everything gets worse. Late that same night, Joel Osteen's PR team released a statement. Joel Osteen was not referring to any specific individual in his speech. He was merely sharing a general perspective on humility and accountability. The problem? No one believed it. Why? Because the context was too clear. The timing was too coincidental. And more importantly, Coco had responded perfectly. A reporter tweeted, "Osteen tried to backpedal, but it's too late. The narrative has been written." Another, "Osteen's PR team is trying to fix the narrative. But how do you fix it when people have already seen the truth?" And what was the truth? Osteen criticized a young athlete for daring to speak up, and she responded with calmness, intelligence, and leadership. Worse for Osteen? Media outlets started digging into his past. CNN. Joel Osteen's history of avoiding controversial topics. The Washington Post. How Coco Gauff became Gen Z spokesperson. ESPN. Why athletes are the new moral leaders. One editorial piece wrote, Osteen tried to lecture young people on accountability, but he himself has been silent on major issues for years. Coco Gauff, by contrast, has used her platform for positive change. The result? Osteen's YouTube channel subscribers dropped 5% in 48 hours. Coco's Instagram followers grew by 2 million in 72 hours. Osteen's comeback special, 3 out of 10 rating on IMDb comments, overshadowed by a 21-year-old athlete. A commentator summarized, Osteen set the stage for a grand comeback. But Coco Gauff stole the entire show with just a microphone, a calm voice, and 36 seconds of truth. Joel Osteen wanted respect. Coco Gauff proved respect must be earned through action. Why this moment matters. The deep cultural analysis. Now let's pause. Because this is not just drama between a pastor and an athlete. This is a generation-defining moment. Think about this. Joel Osteen represents a generation of traditional leadership. One that holds power through title, age, and platform. He speaks, others listen. He preaches, others comply. But Coco Gauff? She represents a completely different model of leadership. She doesn't have power from age. She's 21. She doesn't have power from traditional titles. She's an athlete, not a politician or a CEO. But she has something Osteen doesn't: credibility. Credibility is built on consistent action. Coco has spoken out on racial justice, gender equality, and climate for years. Not for PR. Because she believes it. Transparency. When Coco makes a mistake, she admits it. When she doesn't know something, she says so. No games. Steadfastness. Coco doesn't speak out only when it's convenient. She speaks out even when it's difficult. Compare that to Osteen. Osteen was silent during crises. Hurricane Harvey, Black Lives Matter. Osteen only speaks when the environment is controlled. Osteen avoids hard questions. And here is the core point. Gen Z and millennials don't respect traditional power. They respect authenticity. They don't care how many followers you have, how much money you have, or how famous you are. They only care about one question. Are you genuine? And in this confrontation, Coco Gauff is the definition of genuine. Joel Osteen? Not so much. So those 36 seconds weren't just a clever retort. They were a declaration. The era of lecturing from the pulpit is over. The era of leading by example is here. And Coco Gauff? She is the perfect symbol of that new era. The legacy of the 36 seconds, long-term impact. Weeks after the event, the impact of the 36 seconds continues. In education systems, schools are using Coco's speech in leadership courses. Teachers praise her courage and clarity. Students write essays on generational leadership. One teacher tweeted, "I've taught leadership for 15 years. Coco's 36-second speech taught my students more than any case study I've ever used." In youth organizations share the clip as inspiration. It became a symbol of empowerment. Speak truth to power became the new slogan. In media, a shift in how athletes are covered. No more just stick to sports. Acknowledgement that athletes are cultural leaders. ESPN headline, Coco Gauff speaks for Gen Z with powerful message on accountability. The Atlantic, a 21-year-old athlete, just gave the best response to criticism you'll hear this year. Time, grace under pressure. Coco Gauff's 36-second masterclass. Even initial critics had to show respect. A conservative commentator wrote, "I don't agree with all of Coco Gauff's views, but I respect the way she delivered her message, calm, intelligent, and dignified." And Joel Osteen? He continued his work. But the comeback he expected? It never came. Because every time someone mentions that event, they don't remember Osteen. They remember Coco. A journalist perfectly summarized. People will remember Coco's championship wins, her dominance, her athletic strength. But this moment showed the world something deeper. Coco Gauff is not just a champion on the court. She is the champion of her generation. Her words weren't loud, but they were unforgettable. The tone wasn't angry, but it was unwavering. The message wasn't personal, but it was global. Joel Osteen set the stage for a grand comeback. But Coco Gauff stole the entire show with just a microphone, a steady voice, and 36 seconds of truth.